Hello, folks. Welcome to week 4. I'm looking forward to reading your practice theory papers. This week, we'll be looking at working with trauma with individuals and family systems. Now that we've covered a few theories working with individuals, moving into discussion of trauma and theories related to families. Regarding learning resources, you'll have the structural family theory chapter from the Walsh text, and then 2 chapters from the Poulin text from Social Work 505 related to work with families, as well as work with people who've experienced trauma. And again, both texts are excellent. I think they do a great job of explaining things in a simple way, clear way. Please reach out if there's anything that's not clear. This week you're going to be watching the film Ordinary People, which is an oldie but a goodie. And you'll be able to find these either at your local library or online for a very low fee. Google Play, Amazon, YouTube, etc. So please find that and watch it. Excellent film. Regarding the discussion of Ordinary People, reflect on the relationships in the family and how trauma has impacted those relationships. Choose 1 or 2 scenes in the movie and discuss the relationships and the impact of trauma. What theory would you use to conceptualize these relationships and why? Please use course materials to support your chosen theory, citing as appropriate. And if you use course materials, citing in using references are necessary in posts and responses. And then in your response prompt, you'll respond to at least one classmate, discussing similarities and differences. How did you view the family relationships and impact of trauma differently from your peer? Or if your views were similar, what can you add to your peer's discussion around this? And secondly, if your peer chose a different theory to conceptualize the relationships, how does your theory change the conceptualization? If you chose the same, what can you add to your peer's conceptualization? Looks like you've gotten off to a bit of a head start there. And then you'll have your case summary. And I'll go right to that. Due by next Sunday, the 28th at 11:59 p.m. Each of you will prepare a 2-page, using all APA style, case summary. Early in the semester, you submitted a 1-page summary that included your client population of choice and one theory that helped to conceptualize the needs and issues related to this population. Specific details of your client, identifying data should not contain any information that would allow peers to identify a specific person. Think of the identifying data as an opportunity to be creative and come up with a mock client. In your 2-page case summary, please use headings and include your name, the client identifying data, age, ethnicity, family context, work school situation, perhaps religion, spirituality, faith, and so on and so forth. Presenting problem or problems, identify targets for change or intervention, and your specific purpose in the session you will be presenting. The description of your assessment of client systems, strengths, and challenges. So here, not just strengths and challenges in terms of what the client's good at or what are some positive things in the therapeutic relationship during session, but also things in terms of their systems. What are some of the strengths within their relationships, their families, their connections to other resources in the community. Part 5, a description and discussion of the intervention that you've chosen to use with your client, with a clear rationale for why you chose the intervention based on the theory you identified in week 2. And then, lastly, a reflection on your use of self and your planning for your professional development in light of this case. So we've talked about your use of self. Use of self has to do with how you bring yourself, your own experiences, your own particular characteristics as a human being, as a worker, into your professional development, as well as talking about the question of self-disclosure. Those encapsulate this notion of use of self. So again, the client identifying data, presenting problems, identifying targets for change and intervention, your specific purpose in the session, the description of your assessment of system strengths and challenges, discussion of the intervention, and your reflection on your use of self. And you can see each of these is 2 points. So again, it's 2 pages. It's really client data for the most part, with use of self and your aspects of the session, as well as targets for intervention, presenting problems mixed in there, and use of self. I think this is pretty straightforward, but please reach out to me if you have questions. And the last thing is the mid-semester evaluation. I always appreciate feedback in terms of the course. Please let me know how things are going, what your experience has been like, and any improvements that you feel you would make to the course. And that's it for this week. Please reach out to me again if you have any questions or concerns. Have a great week, folks. Take care.